Okay, what we're going to do today is talk about the difference between protect, okay, protect, and restrict. Restrict. Okay, protect and restrict. So that's the difference that we're going to go ahead and talk about today. Okay, we have our protect and we have our restrict. Okay, so let's actually configure the protect on this switch, and we're going to configure the restrict on this switch. So we come to this switch here. We're going to go to config T. We're going to go to interface fast ethernet 0/1. Okay, once we go there, we're going to go to switch port security violation, and you're going to see we technically have three options. We have the protect, we have the restrict, and we have the shutdown. Now, believe it or not, by default, shutdown is the one. Okay, shutdown is default when anytime there's a violation, such as if in this particular case, if another individual were to plug in a different PC with a different MAC address. Okay, so that's basically what would go ahead and happen here. Remember, this switch is configured with this end host MAC address. Okay, and this switch is configured with this end host MAC address. That's basically sticky. So we already mentioned that. We made a video about that. Today, what we're talking about is protect versus restrict. So on this switch here, switch 0, we're going to go ahead and configure protect. Okay, we're going to end. Let's go ahead and do a quick little show run. Make sure that's the situation. And it's here. Switchport security violation protect. Now let's go to this switch here. And what we're going to do is we're going to configure terminal. We're going to continue. That's going to be, oh no, should be fast ethernet. Fast ethernet 0/1. We're going to go with switch port security violation. And on this one, we're going to go ahead and configure restrict. Restrict. Okay. And the best way, okay, the best way, so let's look at how they are the same, and then let's look at how they are different. Okay, the way they are the same is they're going to stop the flow of information. So as soon as they see, hey, this is a violation, we don't want to have any data from this particular interface. Okay, so that's the way that protect and restrict are the same. They're going to go ahead, and while they don't shut off the port, so they're not going to shut off the port, what's going to happen is the information is not going to go through. Okay. Um, so keep that in mind. Mind you, we're on a layer 2. Now that's the way they're the same. The way they are different. Okay. I want you to think I want you to think of as protect, and this seems kind of silly, but this is the way I think about it. Protect is kind of like a higher being, like mom or dad or a guardian angel, and sometimes they don't even tell you how they protected you, they just do it. Okay, so protect is just, hey, protect it. We're not even going to mention it. We're not even going to go ahead and put, we're not going to go ahead and log anything. We're not going to even mention anything to you. You're just in a state of protection. Okay, restrict, on the other hand, is going to go ahead, is going to actually record. So think R for restrict, R for record. It's going to log it. Okay, so that is the best way to think about it. Protect versus restrict. R for restrict, R for record. It's going to go ahead and log the fact that violation occurred. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and put this theory to the test. Let me just make sure we went ahead. We come here, we go to show run. Okay, and we come here, and we have it, violation restrict. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a quick little switcheroo. Okay, so this PC, let's go ahead and let's delete these lines here. Okay, so we're gonna delete these lines. So this PC0 is gonna come on this side. This PC1 is gonna come on this side. Okay, so we switch the PCs. Mind you, this switch here, this switch here was configured with this PC, and this switch here was configured with this PC. So look at what happens, and let's look at the difference between protect and restrict. Protect and restrict. Like I mentioned before, okay, like I mentioned before, technically these lines are not going to shut off. The only difference is the data is not going to go through on both of these, and restrict is going to go ahead and record. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's wait for these lines to come up. We're going to go ahead and run a ping, and we're going to go ahead and look and see exactly what happens. Like I mentioned, in theory, these lines should not shut down like they normally would. Okay, if we had our default settings, the only difference is information is not going to go through on either or, and on restrict, it's going to show up on the log. So let's check it out. So we go to this PC here. We go to our command. We're going to ping 192.168.0.254. Let's ping it. So mind you, this should not go through, okay, because it's going to block out the data. And we're waiting, we're waiting. So far, things are looking pretty good. Like I mentioned, we should not receive a reply. Okay, so the data is basically being blocked. Okay, and as you can see, that ping did not go through. We'll try it one more time. We'll come back to this. Let's go to the switch. Okay, and we're going to come in here to the switch. And on this switch here, okay, on this switch here, I'm going to type in show logging. Okay, and as you can see, we really don't have much. Okay, but better yet, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to show port security interface fast Ethernet 0/1. And notice here, okay, notice here, the security violation count is 0. So it just protected the interface. It didn't even take the violation into account. Let's try it again, just in case. And you can see the security violation is 0. Okay. So if you remember, protect, it's just going to protect. It's not even going to mention that it's protected or that it protected. It won't even count it. It just does it. Now, let's go to restrict. Okay. Let's go to restrict. So I'm going to go ahead and ping our interface VLAN 1, this here, the switch. And on here, let's go ahead and first let's check to see if the ping goes through. As you can see, the ping, as we would expect, is not going through. Okay, it's not going through. Okay, voila. Okay, it didn't go through. We'll ping it one more time while we get into the switch so you can see that it will not go through. So once we get to the switch here, okay, we're going to go into show logging. Okay, and as you can see, it doesn't really have it on the logging count times. You know what? I don't think I enabled the logging. It's probably the reason why we don't see logging. Um, but nonetheless, the command we're looking for is going to be show port security interface fast Ethernet 0/1. And look at this here. Okay, security violation count. Okay, security violation count. Notice how when we had, let me see, hopefully I don't have too many packet tracers open. I think it's going to be switch 0. There we go. So notice the difference on our protect versus our restrict. Okay, protect is just going to go ahead and protect. It's not even going to count the security violation. On the restrict, it's going to go ahead and record the security violation. Okay, so just think of it as such.